Hi, I'm Hannah Marie. I am playing Samantha Thatcher, the spooky.
Hello, my name is Jimmy, and I'll be playing Christopher Watson, the expert.
Hi there, I'm Stabbykinz, and I'll be playing Callum Reyland, the spell slinger.
And hey everyone, I'm Grizz, and I'll be playing the town of Willoughby Falls, where this wonderful tale of delight and happiness resides. How are we doing, players? How are we doing this evening?
Good.
Yeah.
A little bit iffy. All right, no, it's not good. Well, that kind of makes sense considering how we left our intrepid group of hunters.
Everything's fine.
No, it's not. So, yeah, I'm not gonna let you delude yourselves. So we started this past mystery with the investigation into a rash of murders with a strange consequence to the people actually doing the killing. They all burst into flames. And through a series of investigations and just kind of sussing people out, it turns out this whole thing has a connection to the original founders of Willoughby Falls. And it's getting a little strange. There seems to be misinformation about what actually happened. Anything about it seems to be shrouded in mystery or in books that aren't even in a language that seems to be spoken over the last few thousand years. Willoughby Falls has a dark past, and it feels like you're sitting in the middle of all of it. Speaking of being in the middle of things, when we last left you, you were in the foyer of the Parker Street Library, where a creature called a drake had just revealed itself to you, with scales going over its face, eyes going red, and sharp rings of teeth and being exposed smiles at the three of you. And just behind you, you hear the hissing of four things that you thought were cats. And that's where we're going to pick up.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, indeed.
Oh golly geez. So yeah, we are paused in that moment where the drake is grinning at you evilly, and you feel the four things that were cats, or you think are still cats, you're not quite sure, are letting out a hiss that sounds like a rattlesnake behind the three of you. Well, he's behind Christopher immediately.
Uh-huh.
But as you all stand there, kind of frozen in the foyer of the library, you feel like a second tick by before the drake throws up its hands. But I'm not one to get into the mix of things around such story histories and books, especially when I'm at a disadvantage. So if you don't mind, you see him kind of step back into the hallway where he came out of and just kind of fade into the shadows.
Well, hell.
As Jimmy, your boy there, Christopher.
Yep.
Here's the hissing stop.
Turn around and look at the cats, quote unquote.
What you see before you is an empty desk.
Okay.
It seems that everything here has retreated for a spell after revealing themselves to you.
Okay. Now look, I am still a little freaked out here. Everyone saw that, right?
No, so what, Christopher?
I'm it's a
I think
hope.
it did,
Of
but
course.
I only got the one eye.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
you all just saw Dante Wiggins' face start to transform into something far more reptilian than you've ever seen a human being wear.
Okay, well, we have more information than we had 10 minutes ago.
Indeed.
I don't know how that helps us right now. But dragons are real?
Well, a little bit different, but if he said he was a drake. But I guess.
Different in a significant lore way, or different in a we're splitting hairs kind of way?
Splitting hairs kind of way, but it's
with your knowledge of monsters and everything like that, you would know that drakes are significantly less powerful than a dragon. And they prefer to do things on their terms.
Yep. Yes, yeah, they are a little bit less powerful, but at the same time, they get them stuff done on their own. So,
Let's see, Matt. What I'm curious about is why he said he was at a disadvantage. Maybe Drake fella there and the librarian aren't exactly on the same sides then.
Where is Miss Whitaker?
that is a good question.
I thought those cats were hers.
Maybe they are?
I do appreciate that he didn't want to start a firefight in a literal library. Tiniest smidgen of respect there. Okay, no, we should, and I'm gonna look around and try and find Eleanor Whitaker.
Okay. Are you just going from stack to stack, or are you trying to do this? Or are you trying to like track down her office?
I'm gonna try and track down where I think she might be, but I will also say aloud, Miss Whitaker? Because if she didn't attack with the Drake, maybe she doesn't want to attack at all. And I do remember feeling like fear at being watched when I was in her mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got an ally here. Everything's great.
So do you just yell out Miss Whitaker?
I don't yell. It's a library.
Okay, what do you do?
Softly shout. Very much in the tone of, hello, I have a book to return.
Yeah, this is as good a moment as any. Well, I dare say you could ring that bell right there and she probably might show up for you.
Who's that?
Sorry, I guess you didn't hear me come in. You all seem rather tense. And as you turn around, you see dressed in tweed and actively smoking a pipe with short white hair and like a really curly mustache with like a slightly pointed goatee. Christopher, you know this man very well just by the fact that he bothers you a lot for information that you can only truly get from a professor with your expertise. This is a private investigator known as Oscar Lee.
Oscar Lee?
Oscar Lee. Older man. He think he's probably in his later 50s. And he only gets involved in the weird shit of Willoughby Falls.
A kindred spirit.
Christopher just sighs and just puts his hand onto the bridge of his nose and just, I was wondering when you might have shown up.
Mr. Watson, how are you this fine day? I see you got some assistance. About time you did with all the work you be doing. Puffs his pipe.
Yeah, it's, we're a good team, but, it just, let's just, is there a reason why you're here, Lee? Mr. Lee. Leech. I'm sorry, I keep on mishearing it. Sorry. Mr. Leech.
Probably the same reason as you. An odd series of murders. A strange fascination with the number 7, oddly enough. And spontaneous combustion. What wouldn't I be investigating? I mean, spontaneous combustion is it'll be fall's favorite. It usually happens twice a year, but this many times in this many weeks? Mr. Watson, you'd know I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
Christopher, who is this guy? His strange anachronistic mannerisms make me feel threatened.
Everyone, this is Mr. Leech. He is a private investigator who comes to me from time to time.
You mean on top of, like, literally all of the police of Liberty Falls?
Yeah.
More often than not, they have to go to me instead of Mr. Watson here. You know, they can't ask him to do the more gruesome things, given the fact that he's not an actual investigator. No offense, Mr. Watson.
None taken. Wait, you can tell it's like a lot taken.
Samantha is looking between the two of these guys like she's watching a tennis match, and she both looks like extremely curious and almost a little delighted.
Now, forgive me, I didn't get your compatriots' names.
Yes, this is Callum and Samantha.
Hello.
The good Sir Callum and the lady Samantha. Pleasure to meet you both. And he gives like a small bow of seeming respect.
Oh, formal. Cute. Well, excellent advice. I'm going to go over and I'm going to ding the bell. And then I'm going to turn back to Mr. Leech and I'm going to say, I appreciate your curiosity, but we've got this covered, so maybe, and I kind of make a little shooing gesture and also point to the pipe, maybe don't smoke inside.
Oh, this is an electronic one. I would never smoke something like this in a library.
Oh God, he vapes.
You also shouldn't vape in a library.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine as long as I don't get too close. But seeing how that you have everything covered, he kind of has like a glowing smile. Your next steps were, other than ringing a bell at a desk that clearly no one aims to attend anytime soon.
I don't think that's your business, buddy. We don't know each other that well.
I know you well enough to understand that you're willing to risk your life for the betterment of Willoughby Falls, and that's what we're all here for.
True enough. I look at Christopher and I give him a very significant look, and I'm like, well, while you catch up with your friend, I'm gonna go find our librarian.
No. It's like if you go read Christopher's expression, be like, no, please don't leave me with him. No.
I understand. Here. I had no intention of getting in the way of your investigation. I only wish to aid. He like holds up his hands. But I understand. Mayhaps I had information you could have used. Mayhaps I didn't.
Well, hey, let's not get too hasty now. I mean, we have our own private investigator right here. Maybe you can investigate where the librarian went.
I think that is a stellar idea. You seem to know so much.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for the librarian, I saw her step into one of the atriums a few moments ago. Guess who's behind you?
Samantha is like, her knuckles are tightening just a little. It's like, yes, I'm gonna go find her. I'm gonna walk away if she hasn't answered the bell, and I'm gonna go through the stacks.
You got it.
She's like a little steamed.
I am so sorry to antagonize your friend there. I will just be about my way. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. You know I will, Watson.
I know.
And you're all right there. You're walking a little stiff.
Everything is fine. I just slept wrong recently.
Callum will slowly look over to Christopher.
Not looking. I am not looking.
And by that way there, Mr. Callum, if we're talking about things that shouldn't be in the library, I would watch where your butt end of that staff goes. A little dirty. Strange that you would require such a walking stick, given you seem some more sprightly than Mr. Watson over here, but that's just me.
It's my focus. What are you talking about? I use it for my magic.
This is going so well.
Blinks a few times. I see. Well, I'm going to go stop by the non-fiction section. If you wish to find me, I'll be there.
Yeah, okay. Don't get torn apart by the Drake that was just in here a few minutes ago.
As you were. He's looking straight at Christopher, being like, good find. Just kind of like walks into the stacks and disappears.
I hate that guy.
Hey,
As soon as I see that he's gone, I'm back because I was just hiding a few feet away. And I'm just like, okay, I can't tell if you guys are rivals or if you had a thing in the past, and I need to know.
Let's go ahead and find.
Oh my god, you guys did date. Holy crap.
I'm not.
Of course you would date someone like him. Man. I don't know how to feel about that.
Not answering. We just like want to get out of this situation.
The fact that he's not answering makes it really suspicious.
All right, for the three of you, given everything that you've learned in this investigation, what would you like to do? There are a few holes still that you probably don't understand that you might want to look into.
If I have to roll something to find the librarian, I will roll something. I desperately need to find her. It's a matter of pride at this point.
Roll me 2d6.
A 7.
Okay. Given everything you've known and understood about one Miss Eleanor Whitaker, especially when it comes to being in this library, when she wants you to find her, she'll let you. So you question whether or not how much searching for her exactly you should do.
Okay.
Okay.
And the cats are not at the
cats aren't
desk
there.
anymore? Yeah.
No, they are not. I'm not saying you can't look for her. I'm just saying, is it the best use of your time at this point?
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I look at Christopher and I'm like, okay, whatever history is there, do you think he has more information on Drakes than you might have?
He might, but I don't know.
And Callum, are you willing to negotiate with a know-it-all if it means we will find out who ate your chicken?
I mean, sure, yeah, chicken justice. I'm down for that.
Okay. Let's all just emotionally prepare ourselves. Take a moment. Guard your ego. And then we can go find Mr. Leach in the nonfiction section if we cannot find the librarian.
We can also possibly do some more research on fires that has happened involving Dante, possibly, if there's anything like that.
Another option.
Actually, out of
Look, go ahead.
curiosity, Christopher, how clued into the weird is he exactly?
I would barely any, if I'm remembering. Is that correct? I mean, I'm just asking Grizz, basically.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So, Oscar Leach investigates the weirder mysteries of Willoughby Falls, but not the supernatural ones. So Callum just saying, "Hey, I throw magic around," really threw off some alarm bells for that man.
Yeah, that's the reason it was like the non-fiction section.
So we're all just nuts to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He tolerates.
It's the other side of this, so that's why it was highly enjoyable. Yeah, if it's like Christopher, he would go to you if he's like, I found a strange poison that shouldn't exist. Where did it come from? And you'll be like, this region of the world. Okay, thanks. And then he leaves after paying you.
Yeah.
I am
I'm trying to
understanding.
go into finer details about things, and he just leaves after I just say it. I don't understand at all. Oh my god.
We'll see if you
Okay.
have the hots for him. I'm kidding.
It's getting more and more damning by the moment.
Let's try and rein in this whole case here. Okay, so far as we know, we got a whole bunch of puzzle pieces and barely any of them seem to fit together. At this rate, I think we're gonna have to rely on Christopher's knack for research to see if we can finally start getting some of this shit to actually fit and make a picture of things.
You get a
Given that the
slight
librarian's
nosebleed.
gone.
Hell, you get the smallest nosebleed.
Don't bleed on the books. Don't bleed on the books.
That was so much high-level reasoning, it almost hurt you.
My thoughts feel like copper.
Oh my god. Game Master.
Yeah.
So when they say that this library was built on top of the old library,
Mm-hmm.
built physically on top of the same structural foundation, or
Yeah.
just in the same place?
It was built directly on top of it.
Okay. And I look at the others. What are the chances that there's anything that could be hidden in the remains of the old library? A place that's not accessible to your average patron, even with a library card.
You know, you bring up a fine point.
I do that sometimes.
And also, I like the sound of plundering into some forgotten library, too.
You seem like a dungeon delver. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Oh, very much.
Christopher, care to do a little Indiana Jonesing?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Is this something he has? He's just a little bit still a little bit thrown off. Just like, yeah, I'm good with heading to finding these ruins underneath this library. Yeah,
it'll be great. Did we see where the keys got tucked behind the desk for the museum? Because that might be a good place to start.
No, but the museum only has one entrance and doesn't have any exit. Other than that, it doesn't have it wouldn't have an access to the basement.
Oh, okay, fair. So let's go find an access to the basement and avoid your former associate, rival. I don't know what we're calling him.
Whatever you think. And I'm just going.
Oh, okay, boy toy then.
Sorry, you're doing this on purpose.
Not that. I'm just running and. I'm just running.
You said anything I want.
I just I walk alongside Callum and I just whisper, I'm like, they definitely dated, right?
Oh, they super dated.
So you make your way to the basement access?
Yes.
Okay. So it's easy enough to see. It's only in a short ways off the actual foyer itself. It just gets like a hallway that goes into more of the library, but it's actually just a set of double doors that just go into the Wow, I almost forgot the word. Archives. Fuck, Grizz, where have you been all of your life? It's a set of double doors that has the sign, the Willoughby Archives above it that goes down to the basement.
Let us descend.
Forgot the word archives and I'm running a game in a library.
We all have our moments. You're doing fine.
Oh no. Alright, so you open the door. And immediately you just get that familiar musty smell of just really old books, files, and paper. The actual oh yes, my youth. Says Christopher. And you make your way down there. It is a relatively small room. There are series of filing cabinets on one wall, and then just the rest of it is just older bookcases filled with town blueprints that are out of date because they were just from ages ago. Old elections, city planning, and then just odd old biographies and stuff like that they couldn't fit in other places in the library. There's maps of the older parts of Willoughby here. There's a few taxidermied animals of fame. There's a three-headed raccoon, but used to be on display like 50 years ago, but they kept it down here because they realized how fucked up it actually was. Yeah, it's just the weird odds and ends in the archives. Like most of the things you'd actually want to research or are on display are upstairs.
Okay. I suppose we try and find another level. Look at Callum. Dungeon Delver.
Let's not give up now. Clearly, this is a red herring, all right? Because it all seems innocuous. We're dealing with the library here. You know what that means?
Free
Hidden
public
library
services?
entrance.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna start tapping at some of the books with his staff, and he's gonna see if he can find a secret hidden entrance where he can pull out a book and it would just,
The first thing you notice as you start tapping your staff into some of these old books is that you're indenting a lot of them because a lot of them are anywhere between 30 and 80 years old.
Damn, sucks for the books.
Callum.
After Callum does it 3 times, like, okay, I'm just going to stop you right there.
I will confiscate your staff.
As the last tap is books and why they as you tap one of the books in the spine, as before you read it at the last second before it kind of crumples inwards, and is birds and why they are aliens by AC Cumberfunk.
Okay, this place might have been made for Callum.
Oh no.
And I feel like I probably would have gotten along with that Cumberfunk fella.
You getting along with someone? I don't see it.
No, judging by the age of the book, that Cumberfunk is probably still alive and well in Willoughby Falls.
New quest activated.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and investigate a mystery.
Do it.
I believe in you.
A 9.
My belief helps.
All right, what is being concealed here?
You start going through the books and stuff like that, like doing the basic, like, haha, if I pull one, it'll reveal the passage. And after a while, you're like, it's not happening still. But as you're like going through, you kind of start to realize that there's just like, there's a draft down here, like a slight one that kind of like goes just underneath your feet. And it seems to be coming from the farthest wall, but as you're like going through it, it just seems like a wall to you. There's no. Go ahead.
Out of curiosity, she's gonna work a little bit of new magic that you just picked up recently. Rather than creating flame, he's actually going to cool the air around his hand and let off a light trail of condensation near the wall and see where it flows to.
The draft is going towards you.
Nuts. That is less helpful than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So that there's probably an opening or something on the other side of this wall, because the draft is being blown up towards you, towards where you came down from the stairs. So you know where the draft is coming from. You just don't know how to get to the opening, as it were.
Okay, so you said up and towards him. Does it feel like it's coming from the ground? Kind of like where it meets the wall, or from the wall specifically?
From the wall specifically. Like, if anything, this draft is being blown upwards because it's coming up and underneath the bookcases that are directly in front of whatever this thing is.
There's a draft right here, but no clue if they're actually using the usual pull a book and the whole thing slides open kind of deal. There's definitely an entrance right here, though. Just don't know how to get it open. She's gonna pointedly look between the other two.
Let me think here. Use. Can I like knock against the wall and does it sound hollow or?
Well, the bookcases in front of whatever this thing. Yeah. So,
bookcase,
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah. And all the walls are lined with bookcases, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The draft is coming up from underneath this bookcase, and you can feel it like towards the bottom of your feet. It's very slight, but it's there.
If I focus, can I see or sense any spirits using the site?
As you heighten your vision and take a look around the room a little bit better, there is a very odd shaped silhouette kind of like sitting by one of the bookcases.
I must ask this question, and I need you to understand that it is with all sincerity and seriousness. Is it a ghost of a 3-headed raccoon?
No.
Damn it. Okay. I can accept that. but I will try and get a little closer.
Yeah, it just... You realize it seems odd-shaped because it's just wearing much, much older clothing. Probably pre-1940s. It's like a... You would look at it, it's like a wide-brimmed hat, like a straw hat. But there's not really like a face. It's just kind of a shape. And it's just kind of like sitting, like knees kind of curled up and kind of looking at the ground.
She'll kind of like kneel down and just, hi. Any chance you know how to get to the old library? I'm a bit turned around. And to the other two, she is just sitting on the ground talking to nothing.
Oh man, she's finally losing it.
He's doing it again, Callum.
Make her stop, make her stop!
Library's gone.
Oh. Is it? And I look around at all the books.
Library's gone.
Okay, hon. All right. Sorry to bother you. And I just stand and I look at the other two and I was like, okay, spirits don't know anything. We're on our own.
Oh, okay.
You guys know this.
All right, time
We've
for another
talked about this.
Callum
So,
class.
Samantha, can you roll me investigate a mystery real quick?
Yes, I can. A 7.
Looking at the spirit a lot more closely, you realize this is a spirit from the time, more than likely, when the old library was standing.
Well, yeah, I figured, but if he doesn't know where he is right now, he's not going to be able to lead us down.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I will say to the group, there's a spirit in here that looks like he's from around that time, but he just keeps saying that the library is gone. I do not know how to trigger any door.
You might ask them some questions or something. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. But in the meantime, Callum's going to start just pulling books from the shelves and just trying to see if he can find one that'll actually trigger this case to slide open. If it even does.
You pull book after book after book after book after book after book after book. It's just a bookcase.
Making sure to pick up the books and putting them back as Callum is just throwing them, most likely.
Okay, I guess we're gonna try this. I'm gonna cast magic. I'm like, Samantha's just like, I have no other strengths right now.
Wait,
What would you like to do?
I would like to. Sorry, I want to find the exact phrasing. I'm going to do one thing that is beyond human limitations, and I just want to move the freaking bookshelf.
I was about to do that. But you're good.
You can help me if you want.
Yeah, I would love to try to help.
With the nerd powers combined.
May I full help out?
No, it's more of a... There are other ways to use magic on something. and I'm not limiting you guys to just the effects in this book, just to give you a clue.
All right.
Because all the effects there, one of the effects there in use magic would be extremely useful in this sense, as far as moving this thing goes.
All right. Well, in that case, is Samantha proceeding with use magic?
Genuinely don't know anymore.
Sorry, y'all. Try to give you some hints here. So the three of you go back. Okay, go ahead, Stabby. Sorry.
Callum will go ahead and use magic in that case. If we're not limited to what is currently on the list, he's gonna see if there's any magic that's actually imbued in this bookshelf. Anything that might make it more animated if tapped into.
I am not going to make you roll for that. If you try to tap into the magic of the area around you, this bookshelf is loaded.
Oh.
It feels heavy, like it's kind of been glued there. Like someone went, here, don't move. Ever. Unless,
Oh.
Unless? Is he picking up that there needs to be like a specific passphrase spoken?
Okay. Well, if you want something to move, and you told it not to before, you could ask it to move.
Hey, open sesame, fucker. Move out of the way, please.
Doesn't seem to do anything. So I'm going to harken back to the knowledge that you have about the entities you might be dealing with. These are all dragons.
Yeah. These are all dragons. Okay.
Okay, if I were to cast magic and do the opposite, a bar, a place, or portal to a specific person or type of creature, could I reverse someone keeping others from getting in? Is that based on what Callum is saying, might that be the vibe?
Sounds like a vibe.
I will give it a try if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll weird because I'm a weirdo. That's a 12.
So what does it look like when you're doing this?
So it almost looks like, at first it looks like she is just like picking at the air, and once again the two of them are like, Sam, stop being nuts. But as she moves, it almost seems like glowing threads enter the air, and she is kind of reweaving them into a different pattern. It kind of looks almost like a reconfiguration of a Celtic knot.
Yeah, and the three of you hear this like, it sounds like nails on chalkboard, but you realize it's the separation of two forces, not them grinding together. As you're standing there, you just kind of feel and watch as the bookcase kind of just collapses in on itself, like folds downwards, then across and downwards again, and kind of stops, and then just kind of shrinks into a box at the base of where it was. And before you is a wide open cavern mouth. Old, kind of looks like someone dug into it and down by hand almost. That seems to dig straight down to the ground, kind of arching down and away into a black pit that you can't see any further into.
I look at the others. I found something.
Yeah, okay, that was a little extra, and frankly, I don't really appreciate divergence from the usuals, the classics. I don't know.
Why are you so mean to me? I did this properly.
No. I'm not. Yeah, good on you, Samantha. Honestly, I've done. No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if there's a bookshelf, you know, hiding an entrance, you gotta pull the book, and it slides open.
Grandma.
It's simple. All right. Anywho, good find though.
Samantha, you see the spirit kind of just stride past the two of you, and start walking down into the cavern. And as it walks away, you kind of hear echoing lightly in the cavern, "Library's gone."
Well, that was weird.
The cavern's not lit at all, right?
Oh, fuck no.
All right.
This is a lit cavern, but not a lit cavern.
He'll tap his staff down twice to get the amethyst to illuminate, and he's gonna start proceeding ahead. Well, no time to waste.
As you enter into the cavern, the amethyst goes out.
Whoa.
Don't worry, bud. That happens every now and again. You're fine.
No. I got this. He's gonna try and produce some flame from his hand as a makeshift torch.
Nothing.
I'm just gonna pull out my phone and turn on the flashlight.
Your phone doesn't turn on.
It messes with technology. I was so confident.
Look at that.
I will look at Callum and be like, you know what? I have been humbled. My hubris got the best of me, and I apologize.
Apology accepted. It happens to the best of us.
Do you try anything else to light your way?
Weird question. Okay. Yep. Can I use preparedness to see if I can somehow make a makeshift torch, basically?
Sure. Yeah. It's not even a roll. Christopher has the means and power, like gets all some books together, rips off some clothing or something like that, ties it all up. Has lighter fluid for some reason. You know, and makes a torch. Do you walk in?
Yep, I walk in.
It seems to work just fine.
I'm just gonna go ahead and lead up front and be like, I can't believe this was too easy to make a torch. I always thought it was weird how easy it was. It is easy. I just keep on walking forward and just like shaking my head as I'm walking forward.
Samantha and Callum, as you follow, you feel depressed, down, a little lost maybe. It feels like you're leaving something behind.
I don't feel good.
So much chicken left behind.
I don't. Oh my God, Callum.
And Christopher, as you turn around, they look. Well, Samantha always looked a little pale, but now it's real bad. Callum looks like almost as pale as Samantha does normally.
Oh, that's concerning.
Okay, what do you want to say, bro?
What? You're tanning up real nice for the summer. That's all I'm saying. And you all begin to walk. And as you walk down farther and farther and down and down, you've been walking for a bit now. Doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon.
As they continue to go down, Sam just like kind of wilts a little and it's like, this doesn't, I don't want to solve mysteries anymore. My stomach hurts.
I'm not about to let some tummy ache sadness in the pit of my tummy get the better of me. There's gotta be something to this.
You're so brave.
He's being so brave right now. He's gonna try and investigate a mystery, in fact.
Roll me, well, this is fucked. Judging by the light that Christopher's torch is giving you, you are only walking down a roughly hewn, long tunnel with no features or anything like that. It looks like something just carved it piece by piece, chunk by chunk, and it's just digging downwards, and that is all there is to see.
Okay, so there's no magic being done here that has put them in some kind of recursive loop or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
It's just going down real deep. It's a good thought, though. It just seems to, whatever is supposed to be down there, it's supposed to be way down there.
As we're going, if I could try and not quite use magic, but like feel around for magic to see if it's like still there and suppressed, if it has like physically been pushed aside. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Do a little introspection.
Sure. Make me a use magic roll. Actually, just do a flat weird roll. It's not, I know it's the same thing, but it's just make me a flat weird roll.
9.
It feels, at first it was suppression, but the deeper you go, the more you realize it's more of like a vacuum, like something's just sucking any magic or any kind of energy source it can get its hands on and drawing it to where you're going.
Okay, that actually makes for something fun. Sam's gonna like take off her sunglasses and like kind of wipe her face. Her eyes are brown. She has brown irises right now. And looks at Callum. I think that something's trying to siphon our magic.
Callum will death grip Christopher's shoulder. Christopher.
Yes.
I don't want to alarm you, but I think we're dealing with a doppelganger.
Why do you say that?
He points right to our eyes.
Okay, this is starting to get weird.
Or maybe the magic is being siphoned. But how?
Dragons like to collect things. Maybe drakes aren't powerful enough to do that, so they steal things.
Hey, Grizz, how am I feeling?
You feel fine.
How's your leg?
Yeah, how is my leg?
Feels fine. Feels great, actually.
This is...
Do you want to look at your leg?
Yeah, I'm going to look at my leg.
Looks normal to me.
All right.
Well, looks normal. Like your leg.
Oh, shit.
Like the one you used to have, yeah.
Now, quick reminder, Grizz, where exactly was the bark growth on his leg?
All of it.
Oh.
Christopher, you look uncomfortably surprised that your leg is the way it's supposed to be.
Sorry, Sammy, I didn't mean to laugh. Oh, yeah, no, it's all of it. His whole leg is fucked.
No reason at all. Let's just keep on going.
Did you ever have Grandma check that out like I told you?
I've been busy.
You know, your boy toy friend actually made a comment about your leg being stiff earlier.
But, like, you want him to be.
I guess we're just going to keep on moving now. Just like...
If you don't tell us in certain terms who and what he is to you, we're going to make our assumptions.
Just going to keep on going and not say a word.
All three of you feel a deep chill. And it's familiar, but not in the way something frightened watches something. But the way that something hunting looks upon its prey. There's something watching the three of you.
Right, okay. Yeah, we gotta get through this tunnel now.
Well, since I don't have magic, I pull out a big-ass knife and just a gun, and I'm like, gotta be ready for anything. These are things that I just have. On my character sheet, I have these things.
Are you moving at a quicker pace?
Yes.
Okay. As you pick up the pace, it keeps going down. And as you're walking, you see the actual ground start to shimmer for a moment, and then you take a step and you realize you're walking in water and you're seeing a reflection. A thin puddle starts to build up as you're walking, and you start blasting through the water, and it makes so much more noise than your footsteps did a bit ago. But as you're walking through this, and only for a short ways, the light of the torch starts to come up, and you see a massive stone slab before the three of you, with an intricate arcane circle drawn throughout of it, and a split down the middle, as if it's a set of double doors. All of the sigils in the actual circle itself are faintly glowing, this slight golden color. You might have noticed it if it weren't for the torch when you're walking up to it, but now you can clearly see it glowing.
This is weird. Can I start having a look over the circle and stuff like that?
Sure. Do you want to use an ability?
You know, I think the only thing I can... Well, actually, yeah. Oh, no. My friends... I'm trying to think here. I would like to try to investigate. No. Yeah, I'm going to investigate a mystery, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. Here we go. And 10. So, I'm going to ask, one of the things is, what can it do? And what is being concealed here?
You get 3.
Do I get 3? For investigate?
Yeah, so you get 10 or above.
I'm looking at it, I only got 2. I think that's 4.
3. Hey, it's fine. What is being concealed here? It is a great question, but it always involves an answer that's never the most helpful. This is a massive seal. And what it's concealing is the method in which to break it.
Mhm.
But given the crack down the middle of it, you'd say it's been broken.
Oh.
Ah. The brain is wrinkling. I am understanding. Yes, yes, yes.
Seal's been broken. Okay.
Also, don't forget, Jimmy, I did say you could use
Yeah.
your
No, I
other
know.
abilities. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
lore library won't really apply in this situation since this is a
Are you sure?
as long as it's historical or reference works are appropriate. That's the reason why I was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There.
All right. No, you're right with me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. All right. So the two of you, you see a massive door in front of you. Callum, Samantha, what would you like to do?
Callum will reach forward and touch the glowing circles in particular. He's going to try and get a sense if the glow is coming from the circles trying to draw in the ambient magic from himself and from the air, or if this is simply the remnant of something that was left over after the seal was broken.
I got news for you, kiddo.
Yeah.
It's both.
Thievery.
Interesting. Can he get a sense off the top of his head if it's trying to draw in magic to repair the seal itself, or will I need to make a roll for that?
I'm gonna tell you right now, from what I know of Callum, I don't think he would know that. You could make a roll, but I don't. Does Callum have a lot of magical practice in sealing something shut for eons?
Probably not.
Yeah. I'm not. It's still drawing in energy and it's still storing energy. From what you know of seals themselves, they don't tend to just repair themselves. I'll say that. Not, you know what I mean? You can make a seal, and once it's broken, it's broken. There are ways to repair one, but it doesn't repair itself. To catch my drift.
All right. In that case, he will go ahead and investigate a mystery and try and glean more details. Whew.
Wow.
All right. So that will give me 2. So I'm going to go ahead and say, doop-a-doop-a-doo. Since it's drawing in so much energy, what is it going to do? Is going to be my first one. And for my second, well, I guess what happened here, just to get a better feel for things, and I'll also use my third free question of what magic has been done here.
This is a massive seal that was placed to keep something intensely powerful in, and then it was broken. More than likely by the thing that was inside.
shit. Okay. Well, in that case, can he tell how recently this thing was broken?
No. Well, how much do you know about masonry? And rock.
Rocks are not his specialty.
I'll give you, it doesn't look recent. It's like it wasn't like broken the other day. But, you know, if you start piecing together some other parts of this mystery, you might be able to piece together when it was broken.
If I could, I'd like to see if I can comprehend any of the sigils, or if I see Ghost Dude wandering around looking for the reference desk, because I don't know what he's up to. But if my magic is gone, I don't know how much of that sticks around.
I mean, are you going to look for Magic Dude? You like looking around?
Yeah, I'll look around.
He's standing beside you.
Oh!
Oh.
Callum, don't move.
What?
Don't move.
Library is gone.
Where'd the library go, bud? Hello?
In the fire.
Yeah, in the fire. Do you know what caused the fire?
Whitaker.
Which one?
Wiggins.
Oh, okay.
Willoughby.
How'd they do it?
They made her real angry.
Okay. I share this with the group. And also share with Callum, yeah, I told you not to move because there's a ghost like almost half in and half out.
Should we be concerned?
I'm extremely concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about the ghost thing, but I am also
okay,
concerned.
I'll tell him. I'll ask him. I'll be the ghost whisperer.
Aren't you?
I didn't anticipate being a magic walkie-talkie. I'm gonna be real.
Sorry, yeah.
No, but yeah, I'll relay what Christopher wishes to ask.
What was the question? Sorry, I got the giggles.
No, I was saying, should we be concerned with the ghost being near Callum? That's what I was asking, Samantha.
Oh, probably not. It's just I feel like it's rude.
The ghost isn't in Callum. It's not. It's standing next to you, Samantha. It's not in anybody.
Oh, I thought because I was standing next to Callum and you said it was right next to me.
No, there are multiple sides of your being.
What are you talking about? What?
Oh, God.
There's more than just my right hand?
One-dimensional Samantha.
Oh, shit, dude.
My stomach hurts and I'm tired. Leave me alone. I'm not being brave about it. I'm going to be a baby.
Yeah. Do you ask it a question?
No, but she was angry. So, do you at least relay like what he said?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say word for word back and forth, I guess.
Okay. So let's hear. So she was mad. Wait, why was she mad? You can ask that.
Wow, thanks. Why?
So at that, you see the ghost kind of shimmer. And now between Callum and Christopher is like a similar shape of that ghost, like the exact same one. But all three of you see it. But the other one's still the only one that Samantha can see. We're having some fun with this.
I'm special.
Yeah. You see like a shape of a ghost, kind of like a dull blue, and looks like it's wearing a dress. They lied. And all three of you hear it.
Oh.
And all three of you see this blue one.
What was that about me being crazy, Callum?
Shit. Ghosts are fucking real.
You owe
Yeah,
me $5.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Silently, in Christopher's head, yes, I got one up on him.
They just did not believe me for the months to years that we have known each other.
Wait, so they lied. Man, what does that mean, though?
What did they lie about?
Library's gone.
They lied about the libraries being gone?
You don't get a response. That's not a good roll. You know, we're gonna help out an NPC here. One of you can roll to help out the NPC. If you so choose.
I'll do it.
All right. I'll give you a +1 because they're only really reacting to Samantha's presence.
They like me.
They do.
Hey, mixed success.
Callum, you get the impression that these are the victims of whatever happened around this area. They don't know the exact details. Like the exact details, like the minutiae of what happened.
I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot from these guys. They're victims, echoes of the past. And they're not gonna hold a whole lot of details.
So, hear me out. The three main families did something to destroy Parker Street and seal something away. We have 2 members that we have found so far. One is missing, the librarian. And Mr. I think it was it Whitaker or was it Wiggins? It was Wiggins. That was the Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the founding families are more than they seem. Quite a lot more than just liars and cheats and capitalists.
And that's a pretty good, strong possibility.
Is there any way that I can determine what might have been locked here based on the sigils, the residual magic, and what we have learned so far?
Well, judging by the area around you, you realize the tunnel keeps going beyond the seal.
Because you said it looked like 2 doors that you could open.
Mhm.
Once more into the breach, my friends. I think that to get to the bottom of this, we in fact need to get to the bottom of this.
All right. Let's see what these whack jobs managed to bind and then let loose.
Maybe if they trapped a dragon, we'll find gold. And then we can leave Willoughby Falls forever, because this place is wild.
All right.
I kid. This place can't get rid of me. It's tried.
Onwards we go, I suppose. Assuming we can continue down the tunnel, or do we need to open up the seal doors first?
It would seem you need to open up the seal doors a little bit, yeah.
Open sesame.
Callum will use magic, and he's going to try and will the doors to open before them.
Nothing happened.
I'm just gonna try to open it like a door. Both ways. I'm gonna try push method and pull method.
So on the push method, you feel the stone start to grind before you. As they kind of they feel like you're just pushing open the doors of the library, the heavy old oaken doors. A little much, and you could probably use a hand, but they are moving.
All right. In that case, Callum will join in on the effort and help her push.
I'm holding a fire, so I'm just I don't want that.
2 hands, Christopher.
Is this revenge for the boat?
Damn, dude. That's
Maybe.
cold shit.
Okay, push!
It slowly does in fact open, and you see deeper into this tunnel. As it opens up, it doesn't take very long as you're going down this tunnel. Maybe a minute down, you start seeing light ahead. It's like a dull green light. You're still walking through the water, though. It's getting a little deeper.
Are the ghosts following along with us?
Are you looking for them?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Friendship. Okay, cool. Does the cave look any different once we pass through the seal, or is it pretty still standard, hand clawed out, so on and so forth?
It seems even rougher. Like it was done in a hurry. And as you keep going, and the light gets a little brighter, and you kind of come down into this dip, and you start to open up into a massive cavern that's just filled with what you think, because the floor keeps going down into a little bit before it flattens out, with about 2 feet of water just going along the entire base of it, until you look towards the center, and there seems to be this large mound of stone that comes to like a relatively flat top that's about 50 feet in diameter. And you can finally tell where the green light is coming from as it refracts off the light in this cavern. It kind of reflects upward, so the whole thing's kind of lightly illuminated. There seems to be a circle around that outcropping of about 12 torches emitting this eerie green light. It's like a sickly green. And even from this distance, because you're maybe, call it 50 yards away from this outcropping. Well, no, I said math. It's like probably like 100 yards away. On this outcropping, you can see 2 forms, but you can't make out what they are.
So, this is creepy, right?
I wouldn't say it's not creepy.
Creep factor's pretty up there, not gonna lie.
And you said there's 12 torches with emitting sickly green light. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
May I get closer to those torches?
Yeah, you got about a football field to walk until you get there, so it's about 2 feet of water. So yes, it's about 2 feet of water.
I am going to gesture to the other two, like towards the figures, and just be like put my finger to my lips, like we should probably be a little stealthy because we don't know what that is.
Okay, I will try to be as stealthy as I can as I slosh through the water.
That's the thing. I'm like instead of slosh, maybe don't do that.
Yes. What is the word for sneaking through water that isn't sloshing?
Swim it. I dare you.
But I have my torch.
You know that thing when you're a kid, when you're in like the shallow end of the pool and you walk around on your hands? Do that.
Yeah, Jimmy, do it. No, anyway, however you want to what your approach is up to. You do realize though, holding that torch, the light you're emitting is stronger than the one in the center.
I'm just going to try to slowly move through the water, still holding the torch up because I want to see as well as I can.
Do the two of you follow?
Yep.
I'll do my best.
All right. You're walking through the water and you're getting closer. And the only sounds that are being emitted right now are the sound the three of you are making. Callum, something touches your leg.
She looks.
I think you kind of move your foot through the water again, and you see a skull come up. And as you move a little bit more, you realize that the vast majority of a skeleton is underneath your feet.
That's so gross.
Is this just one skeleton? Or are there more of them?
Well, as you're kind of looking around through the water, because it is kind of pitch black, you realize that you haven't been stepping on the cavern floor for a while. And while you thought the water was about 2 feet deep, the cavern floor keeps kind of dipping beneath you, but you're staying level as you continue.
Hey, Grizz.
What's up?
Is this really water that we're stepping in?
Would you like to check?
Yeah.
As you dip your finger down into it and lift your hand up, yeah, it's just water.
Oh, okay.
You just scared the life out of me.
Do the three of you continue?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Do you share, Cal, that we're walking on bones?
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of skeletons in their cavern.
Was that supposed to be a skeletons in the closet joke?
A little bit.
Here's the question for you, Callum.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell the two of them that they're stepping on bones?
Yeah, that wasn't me saying, hey, tell us. It was, wait, do you tell us? Or are we
Oh, yeah, no, he
blissfully
will.
ignorant?
He will communicate. They are very much stepping on skeletons right now.
Christopher stops in his tracks. It's like, oh, okay.
I look at the skeletons and then I look at the ghosts and I just say, I'm so sorry.
You can't see them through the water. He just happened to stir one up.
It's same dip. I'll look down at my feet and look at the ghosts and just, I'm so sorry.
Library's gone.
Yeah, it is, buddy.
And as you look outward and you squint a little bit, there's multiple colors all over this cavern of shapes, sizes, different aspects of whatever these spirits were, but there are dozens of spirits standing on this water. Now that you're really looking.
Guys, I see dead people. Like a lot of them.
Miss it on the beat.
Sorry, what?
Nothing.
Wait, what?
That won't get me in trouble. Let's continue.
Hey.
Moving on. Mm-hmm.
You're saying there's a bunch of dead people in this area.
Yes, indeed.
That's great. Let's continue to that to those torches, shall we? To see what's exactly going on with that. And I'm just Christopher's trying to hide his not terrified voice.
I'm going to follow along, but I'm also keeping one eye on those two figures to see if they move, to see if they come into greater relief, if I can identify what they are, etc., so on and so forth.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I'm having a moment.
I follow after, but I'm also keeping an eye on those two figures that you mentioned, just to see if they are moving, if they are advancing, or if they come into greater clarity and we can identify what they are.
As you're approaching, they just seem to be two humanoid fingers lying on the ground.
Oh, they're on the ground. I thought they were standing there.
No, they're just you see them lying along the top of it. You couldn't make out from where you were standing. You couldn't make it out. You could just see two forms from
Roger
300
that.
feet away. Now you're 50 yards away, and you can see two humanoid fingers on the top, lying on the ground.
We might want to check that out as well. Just add it to the to-do list.
All right. Yeah, Callum will keep approaching with the rest of the group.
Okay. As you get to the base of this outcropping, it is a little slimy, but you believe that's just from the water condensation as you gingerly climb your way up and get to the top. And you realize as you all stand there that you are standing on the very edge of yet another sigil. About the same color as the water you just climbed out of. And it spirals in this really weird pattern, kind of circling inwards and spidering around itself. And it seems to be pulsing a deep green color. And across the other side of the outcropping, you can see two people lying on the ground and not moving.
I'll go over and check for a pulse on at least one of them.
Either of you do anything to stop
her from doing that?
I'm going to go for with Samantha, basically. Just
yeah,
to keep
encouragement.
I'm just gonna keep my eye on Samantha just to make sure she doesn't do anything like anything. If something bad happens, basically, I'll be there.
Callum will reach down to investigate the sigil in tandem.
So, as the two of you step into the sigil, as Callum begins to investigate the sigil itself, both of you collapse to the ground.
Oh my my god.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm dead.
No. You just... The same pressure that you felt that when you were entering this place, like you're being sucked of magic, intensifies, and you're both brought to your knees and on your hands and knees, and you feel like you're about to upchuck whatever you've been eating.
Not my carrot sticks.
Not the rest of the chicken.
Not you, Callum.
Yeah, Callum, you're the only one that's not in danger of puking, ironically.
Oh.
But you feel and you see along the veins of your skin this dark green glow starts spidering up it, and you feel like it's trying to just keep you there. Callum.
Yeah.
Roll to use magic if you're trying to investigate this sigil, please.
I absolutely will. All right, got an 11.
All right. You touch your hand on that sigil and you feel the same energy wanting to draw you in, but you're not actually in it. You can only... It wants to, but you're not within its influence. This is a siphon. And gathering all the information that you have, and you're not bleeding from the nose when I say this. You've been around magic a long time. You've seen sigils in different magic circles do a lot of weird things. But given what you know about what the founders seem to have wanted to do here, it seems that this siphon was made to generate power to the seal as a perpetual cycle. Whatever was in here would never have enough strength to break that seal, because it was fueling the seal itself. And even whatever was supposed to be here is gone. It's still active.
Interesting.
Am I unable to move?
No. Can both of you roll me act under pressure, please?
Oh boy. Well,
Why are you rolling that? I said both of them. What are you doing? What are you doing, Stabby?
huh?
No, the both of them, Samantha and Christopher. Please both roll me act under pressure, please.
Oh.
The people in immediate danger. Thank you. There
Sorry,
you go.
I forget what to roll, like which stat it is.
There it is. When it matters.
It's gonna be cool. Anna. Well, Jimmy laughed mockingly.
What the hell?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
As you're
That's
both
rude.
Yeah, it is. As on a miss, things go to hell. You feel this green energy start to spiral up deeper into your body, and you feel that nausea as you kind of feel like the eyes kind of bulge in your head, and you double over a bit more as both of you take one arm as you feel it trying to suck the energy out of you. Callum, you witness this happening.
Okay, fuck this. I'm gonna try and break the sigil.
How would you like to do that?
I'm gonna tamper with its inner workings and try to... I'm just basically going to rip out any kind of magic that has been put into the stone. Just complete, like, fingers and wires just pulling out with sheer force of will.
Are you trying to use magic or your bare hands here?
Magic.
Okay. In order to break this sigil, because of the way it was made and what it's intended to do, this will be big magic if you're trying to do that.
All right. He will attempt to do some big fucking magic. All right, you know what? Nah, better solution. He's just gonna try and hold Samantha and anyone else that's currently on it away, using his staff to just try and get them out of the sigil.
All right, use all that inner strength, because I was going to say there are some requirements for that big magic that may not help the people in it. Let's see. Yeah. Use that staff of yours to huck them the hell out of here. Roll to kick some ass. I will say from where you're standing, you don't know who the other two people are, and they're quite a distance from you, but you can get to Christopher and Samantha in this instance if you want to kick some ass.
Will do.
All right. Yeah. Easy enough. You're able to kind of hook it underneath like their arms or their legs and just kind of like pull them away from it. And for the two of you, it feels like you're like kneeling or like laying down on like a pool of Elmer's glue, the way it feels when he's pulling you off of it. It doesn't do you any more harm, but you know if you'd stayed there for another minute, you probably would have taken more. As the two of you are pulled back to this edge of the sigil, you feel its influence just you still have a sickly greenness to your skin, but it is no longer trying to kill you.
Oh, that sucks so much.
I like give Callum like a very wobbly smile and just, "Aw, you do love us," and then I vomit.
It destroys the sigil. It was vomit all along. Yeah, as it glows there, that's dark, sickly green, waiting for someone else to approach.
Yeah, he's gonna go around and see if he can reach the other two mystery figures.
Oh, they're kind of... I'd say they're about 10 feet off the edge.
So, rushing to the aid of others. Bad idea. We're not going to do that. Lesson learned.
Should we try to break the seal? I don't. That's.
I don't know what this seal does. I'm gonna throw up again.
It's designed to power the seal by siphoning the magic of whatever's trapped within it. In order to break it, it's gonna require a whole lot of mojo. Probably a fuck ton of time, too.
Well, don't we want to seal whatever it is back in here? Or is that not the plan?
Well, right now, I don't think we even really still know what was actually sealed in here to begin with.
I think it was.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh.
Okay. She stands up, kind of shakes out her hands, cracks her neck. Let's break some shit. And I will be ready to help Callum with big magic.
All right, big magic it is then.
At the very least, like, try and pause it, make it dormant, something like that, so we can get whoever those two are out of there. Since you're 10 feet away, can you identify who they are? She says in character.
That is an excellent question, Grizz.
Do you what? Yeah. As you're looking, you were able to see the very, very pale faces of one Dante Wiggins and one Miss Eleanor Whitaker.
Oh.
They were body swapped. She says in character.
Maybe.
a lot of exclamations. Character.
Okay.
Her thought process and my thought process are happening at the same time.
Yeah, should we? Yeah, let's get him off. Hopefully get him off.
Okay, this is gonna suck. We can try a human chain. Unless you just have a rope sitting around.
I'm going to look into my bag. Can I roll for preparedness, see if I have a rope for whatever reason?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
All right. Yeah, I have rope on me. Oh, yeah. I just open my satchel, and it's like, yeah, I have some rope, and I pull out a... most likely, like, a very long cord of... most likely, like, an extension cord or something like that. That's the closest thing I have to rope out of my bag. I think I was supposed to... I think I was doing something with this at the... shit, miss. Oh, they're going to be mad at me. Anyway, let's just use this. And I'm... go ahead and try to start unwinding it to try to...
You know what? If either one of you two want to roll to investigate a mystery to figure out what the hell all that bluster was just about, I'll allow it.
You know what? Yeah, I want to know what happened. I'm nosy.
You get a 10. Yeah, go ahead. Ask your questions to Jimmy and figure out what the hell his character was just blustering about.
What were you supposed to do with that extension cord?
I might have was supposed to give it to another professor at the office to maybe help power a pretty important project that they're working on, and I might have forgotten when I left today.
Christopher, never change. Just keep being who you are. Because otherwise we would not have this very coincidental item that might be of help to us.
I'm still hung up on the fact that you're carrying around a big fuck-off extension cord with you.
Are you really surprised, though?
Yeah,
You seem more surprised at this than the fact that I talk to ghosts.
No, I think this one's definitely a bit more weird.
Okay, before we do anything, let me, if I may, GM, if I could just roll and investigate a mystery to see if there's anything concealed here, mayhap, please and thank you, pretty please.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Mixed success. So, what is being concealed here in terms of these two people who are... I'm just going to pretend that they're sleeping.
Oh, I mean, if there's anything being concealed, if you thought they were dead, they're very much alive.
Okay, let's hope that they're not the monster and we don't ruin this. Literally, that's what Sam says. She's like, let's hope that they're not a monster and we're actually just helping.
If you're trying to deeply investigate their forms from a distance, you can tell they are still breathing.
They're still alive. So, based on how we reacted, that might not last very long.
Yeah, let's get him out.
Lasso.
Yeah.
All right there, Christopher. Roll to kick some ass and drag him on over.
Okay, will do.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it? Math, there it is. 8 mixed success.
All right. It's a little uncomfortable for the person involved as you kind of lasso who seems to be Dante Wiggins around his thigh and kind of drag him by the thigh over to where you are.
Yes.
Probably didn't do him any favors, but he's there now.
Yep. Okay. Got him.
We'll haul him out.
Yep. Then I need to get Miss Whitaker.
Question before you do anything else. Do any of you look over Dante before you continue?
Oh, actually, yeah.
Callum will. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Yep.
go ahead.
I would like to help.
All right. I'd say help someone in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, in this case, I'm investigating a mystery.
No, I said help someone. The roll to help someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't help even a little bit.
Oh no, I wasn't saying you can roll to help him. This is him just looking over their body. But it doesn't matter.
Oh,
If you failed.
well, either way,
Both of
we
you
didn't
failed.
do good.
No. You look rough. All right. Would you like to roll to kick some ass to get out Miss Eleanor Whitaker?
Yes, please.
By all means.
All right, and here we go. That's a failure.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't really think I'm not going to harm you or anything like that, but I do think it takes you a long time to get her over there safely.
Yep.
But she is now before you as well.
Okay.
Just thinking that instead of checking to see if Dante's okay, Callum's just checking his fingernails to see if there's any trace of like breading or chicken grease.
Probably not wrong, honestly.
I would like to look over Miss Whitaker to see if she's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
What would that be? That be investigate or help out?
Help out, please.
All right. 11.
Yes.
You see she's extremely malnourished and horrifically dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Judging by the state of her clothes and just like the rest of her body for the most part, it looks like she's been there for a very, very long time. And judging by what Callum was able to investigate and tell you, it seems like at some point the sigil stopped and then would let whatever is in it kind of gain some energy back and then continue.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
god, it's like Deadpool's box. Sorry, that was a realization of comparison that I just had, and I'm like, wow, this is a messed up machine.
Yeah. We should get them out of here, should we? she's not looking that great.
I think of all the distance that we have walked and genuinely say to Christopher, I don't know how we get them out of here. I don't know what we do with this thing. And I gesture to the siphon. If we mess with the siphon, does something happen with the sigil?
Most likely.
Is there a chance we could get stuck in here if we do something wrong?
That is a possibility. He'll look past the sigil itself, or at least the outcropping. Is there any more tunnel beyond that?
Nope.
All right, so this is basically the dead end right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any... Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was gonna say. And Callum, if you're looking around the cavern from one end to the other, there's something at the entrance.
Okay, well, what does he see at the entrance?
Floating in the darkness, just beyond your vision, you see two very, very large red eyes.
Sorry, very large what?
Red eyes.
Oh, no.
Well, that kind of answers my question, if there was any hint of what might have been trapped here.
Okay. Samantha, can you tell if that thing's some kind of physical creature or another ghost thing? He'll point over to the big fucking red eyes.
Okay. I will use my sight to investigate a mystery where I can see the invisible, especially spirits and magical influences. So is this thing like flesh and bone, or is it some form of illusion?
Cool. Looking at the direction where he's pointing and seeing those eyes, you see the eyes twitch. And with your eyesight, you realize it is very, very much made out of flesh and bone, as crawling out of that same tunnel, one massive, clawed, scaled hand at a time, a large, like a short-snouted reptilian head comes out of the tunnel, followed by a body that looks something between a Gila monster and a Komodo dragon. Deep, mottled scales, kind of ruddy green and brown, two large fins spiraling down its neck and going down onto its back as it crawls its way out. And you realize it's kind of disproportionate because it's so far away, but as it starts stepping out of the tunnel, you realize its head slowly reaching the top of this cavern as it starts to slide its way out. 2 limbs, 3, 5, 6. Going down its back are massive spikes that seem to unfurl its way up as it crawls out of the tunnel and lets out a long hiss. Christopher, you've only seen this thing in books.
Lets out a long what?
Yes.
Oh, hiss. Okay, sorry. The ends of your sentences are getting cut off every now and again.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're
Christopher,
good.
you've only seen this thing in books.
Yep.
It's a drake.
Yep.
Real. Very real. Very, very physical and real.
Yeah. Very real indeed.
Hey guys, I got a fantastic idea. Hey, ugly!
Oh my god.
Oh,
I mean, it's looking at the three of you, so it's not. Its eyes kind of widen in surprise at the hey ugly, but it's looking at the three of you and hisses again.
Yeah, that's right, you chicken stealing bastard. Why don't you come over here and fight me? Unless you're what you eat. Buck, buck.
Oh my god. I look at my knife that no longer looks very big and my 9mm and just tuck them away slowly because I don't think this is going to help.
And you see its clawed hands start digging into the stone, going up and clinging to the ceiling as it starts to climb to the top and kind of circle its way, digging deep as its long snake-like head kind of goes back around and keeps its eye on you, and you see its tail kind of swirling underneath it. It's about the size of a decent-sized tour bus.
oh.
But you start to feel warmer, though. Two of you.
Yeah.
Callum, Samantha, it's like, wait. Over the past few minutes, you've been in this cavern. You kind of feel some of your innate magic return to you while you're outside of the siphon and away from the sigil.
I do not take my eyes off of it, but like in a low voice to Christopher and Callum. Actually, am I able to use my mind stuff for this so I don't have to speak out loud? I guess it would be considered manipulate someone, but I'm not trying to manipulate them, if that makes sense.
You influence, but you don't speak into their mind, I believe.
You can read people's thoughts and put words in their mind. This can allow you to investigate a mystery and read a bad situation. You can also manipulate someone, so I don't know. All right, whatever. I'll just say.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. That's I think I'll have to think about that because I'm not actually
totally
sure.
Fine, totally fine. 100%. It's your ruling. So I'll just murmur. We need to trick it back into the circle.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Do you feel that? And I'm indicating, like, I kind of flex my fingers and there's a little bit of almost what looks like static electricity between my hands.
Yeah, I do.
Holding out like grabbing like some small choo-choo bags.
Because your leg suddenly really hurts. No,
how's my leg? Actually, that is a good question. How's my leg, Grizz?
It feels exactly as it did a few moments ago.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
And you wonder why.
Yeah.
We're just winning.
Roll my 2d6, Christopher.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Will do. D6. 9.
Crossroad devils consider their deals investments, and they're always very good at protecting their investments.
Uh-huh.
Nothing more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was kind of afraid of that. Okay. All right.
What? Afraid of the thing you sold your leg to? Is that what you're afraid of? But yeah.
I'm afraid of the drake.
It's much scarier. The guy who wants my leg or this drink is gonna eat me. As you hear it let out another guttural hiss as it like lunges away from the top of the cavern, just kind of lands in the water, and you just feel the whole entire pond of bones kind of ripple underneath you as the wave kind of goes up and over the outcropping towards the three of you. It doesn't wash you away, but this thing is big and it's coming for you. What are the three of you doing?
Callum's gonna try and manipulate this thing into focusing entirely on him.
Okay. What do you say? What do you do?
You know, now that I really think about it, you really do look more chicken than Drake.
Okay. Roll to manipulate someone, please.
I just did. A nice 10.
Excellent. I hate doing this. I know what you said you were trying to do earlier, but this is so it's coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it bunch up all 6 of its haunches and kind of spiral its tail down and jump.
Oh.
And it starts soaring through the air. The other 2 of you have a chance to do something, but it is in fact coming for Callum.
Okay, so we learned that we can fudge around a little with magic.
Well, and as far as investigating that bookshelf goes, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was hoping that for the moment, I would like to take as much action as I can. Sorry, I'm looking down at my book. To get as close as I can to the door into the chamber and do a very quick and dirty bar a place or portal to a specific person or a type of creature so it can't get around us. It will not hold for longer than maybe a couple minutes, but it's something.
So you're trying to run all the way over there and try to bar it so it can't get after you guys?
As close as I can for my magic to be effective. And if that takes like several actions,
I'm going to say that's going to be act under pressure as you book it over there, because it's about just shy of a football field away from where you are. This is like a massive open cavern. Yeah. So if you book it, yes, you can get over there and start to do that.
That's a 10.
So you run full spooky speed all the way over there as fast as you fucking can.
He looks like a little spider.
Oh gosh. Water splash and splooshing everywhere.
You know those spiders that like skitter over the surface of water? She kind of does that.
Okay.
It's
Callum,
not graceful, it's just weird.
Yep.
it is coming down at you. What would you like to do? And I'll let Christopher do something immediately after that. Because you wanted to manipulate it. That was your original plan. Your plan from the jump. So I'm letting you do that. But as it's coming at you, what would you like to do?
How close is he right now to the sigil?
He's about, I don't know, good 45 feet above it.
Okay. But he is above it. Okay. Callum is going to try and draw up whatever remains of his magic. And he's gonna try and get this glorified Komodo fuck to dive directly into an ice wall. So it slides directly down into the sigil. And I will use kick ass for that with weird since I'm using my combat magic. Assuming I can still tap into my magic at this point.
If you are trying to do something that big with magic at this point, you would understand that if it's near or next to the cipher, it will be drawn into it. Just so you're aware.
Would I...
If you want to make a giant ice wall so it hits a giant ice wall, that is totally applicable. But just saying. The closer it is to that siphon, the more likely it is that it gets sucked into it.
Okay. Would he tap into his own vitality to make it more viable, less likely to be sucked in?
Whatever was meant for this siphon is a massively magical creature of ancient origin. Even if you put your own life force into it, this thing is meant to hold something far more powerful than you may ever be.
Fair enough. Okay. He will attempt his play. Gonna kick some ass. Weird. And I'll be using the template of ice and wall. Oh, please work. Ah, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, that's just Snake Eyes. Goddamn world. Why now?
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my luck on that.
Okay. All right, choose your two effects.
All right, I'll be choosing ice and wall for...
No, for the kick-ass part.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ass.
Ba.
All right,
Ass.
I'm going to gain the advantage, and I'm going to force them where I want them. And I will give +1 to Samantha.
Yeah.
All right. So as it's careening towards you, you are able to take the water around you and yank it upwards, quickly revealing that you're standing on a humongous mountain of skeletons. As you slide the whole thing upwards in front of you, and you hear it crack into the side of it. And the whole wall trembles as you hear it just kind of slide down in front of it, and it lets out this eerie howl that shakes the ice wall, but it is stopped for the moment. A brief moment. Christopher, what would you like to do as you have an ice wall that has appeared suddenly in front of you?
I'm freaking out because I see the bones, and I think I'm going to be okay. Should I? I want to try to. So there's just the ice wall in front of me, and the Drake is behind that wall, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'm going to try to. I want to try to get around so I can see the Drake, and I am going to try to throw a juju bag at it.
Okay. Roll to act up.
Okay, yep. Rolling to kick some ass. All right, here we go. And 9.
How much harm is dealt to it?
It is, since it's a juju bag, it's 1 harm.
All right. Let's see here. I don't know what the fuck. I hate this goddamn item. The juju bag. What does it look like when it hits it? Like, I don't know. The juju bag does so many things.
I know. It's just,
What does it look like when it hits it?
it basically, it looks like it is a small little satchel with a bunch of
No, I meant what does the effect look like when it hits it?
it's just like a small little poof of just loud noises and sparkles or something on that line. It's just whatever I have just to fill these bags up.
Okay. Callum, you see Christopher run around the ice wall, and then you see a loud sparkle through the ice as it screeches in pain. All right.
Well, damn. All right.
Well, it turns to you, Christopher.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Yep.
And you see it kind of float underneath its stomach, and this large swell starts to go up and through its long neck and up into its mouth. As it emits a spark of its own. As you hear like a thunderclap go throughout the cavern as it just spits out something like equivalent of a ball of lightning at you, Christopher. Yeah. Let's see. As it cracks into the side of the outcropping along the side of you, almost striking the wet skeletons that you're standing on, it just kind of like bursts outwards and kind of blinds you for a moment as you feel the equivalent of getting tased go through you. And you would take 1 harm.
And my body just locks up. And my body just basically locks up like being tasered, like, it hurts.
Yeah, as you see it push like 3 of its legs against the ice wall, and the other ones start clawing through the skeletons to start getting to you.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha,
Hi, that's me.
you make it to the opening because you fucking booked ass all the way over there.
Skitter, skitter, skitter.
What would you like to do?
I would like to try and use magic to bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature. I would like to bar this passage to a drake.
You got
And
it. Roll.
Let me cast
Roll.
weird.
You got it.
That's a 9.
That's fun.
Yeah. Consequences.
Yeah, what does the bar look like? Or what is the magic gates of prevention look like?
I'm so glad that you asked, because Samantha, standing at the door, silhouetted by these greenish torches, is just going to claw her hands into the water below and just say, "Spirits of the stolen, of the damned, of the lost, please assist me in this moment." And I'm not going to say the full skeletons rise, but kind of like magical impressions of skeletons kind of link and weave together to make a barrier to prevent egress from this location for the Drake.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty badass.
Spooky boo and spooky. Callum.
Yeah, he is going to... Gosh, I think he's gonna keep blasting this thing towards the sigil, just trying to keep it off of Christopher for the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and use more of my combat magic.
Granted, you do have a wall between you and it.
Very true.
You made a wall between you and it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you can't get around that wall, but there is a wall between you and it that you could probably utilize if you chose to.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. He'll go ahead and chip out some of the ice, get some nice footholds going. He is going to clamber up and get a better look. What do he see?
You now see the full length of the back of the Drake, a little bit below, like probably like 2 feet below you. Gets fairly large. As it's like climbing, that's sliding its way over to where Christopher is with its mouth open. It's gonna get there pretty quickly.
Okay. How much closer is this thing to the sigil now?
Not very close. It did a full body leap well over the sigil into that wall. It did exactly what you wanted. It went straight for your ass. It's got a bit of a distance between it and the sigil.
Shit. Okay. All right. In that case, he will go ahead and he's gonna whistle sharply, and he's just gonna start sprinting towards the sigil, trying to get this thing's attention. He is going to just run as quickly as he can to try and put the sigil between it and himself.
Okay. Go ahead and make the roll.
All right. What kind of roll do you want me to make for that?
This will be manipulate, but it is fully intent on hurting the person that it just attacked. It is attacking. It's going to be at a -1.
Okay.
Oh, well, before you make the roll, I can say, well, got it. All right. Okay. So in the actual future, though, this is for you, Stabby, I would look at the rules to manipulate a monster.
Okay.
Yep. because for the most part, you can't really manipulate a monster because you can't trust it to keep its word. It's kind of like the exact rulings in the rulebook. You can't fuck with it that much all of the time. But with a 6, unfortunately, it doesn't work. But I will say you're allowed to do one more thing if you choose to. Sorry, my friend.
No, it's all good. How close is he to the Drake at this point? Is he within?
Or
no, Callum.
Oh, if you just ran around the outside of the ice wall, you'd be right next to it because it slammed into it and started to claw its way towards Christopher.
All right, screw it. We're just gonna go full balls of walls. He's gonna go ahead and combat cast. I'm going to try and use blast and fire for this.
Okay.
We are going to kick some ass. All right. Now, those are the kind of numbers I like to see. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and inflict terrible harm, and I'm going to force them where I want them. In this case, I'm going to start blasting them closer towards the sigil, trying to keep the pressure on them and off of Christopher.
Okay, you got it. All right, Christopher.
Yes. So Samantha just cast a spell to try to bar the way for the Drake, basically, right? And Callum just tried to push the Drake into the sigil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think this is my time to just be like, I'm going to try to get out of here, and I'm just going to try to run my way towards the door. And try to get out there because I've been hit by this thing, and I do not like being basically tasered.
Okay. Roll to get the fuck up out of there.
This would definitely be
active pressure. It is.
Yeah. That's a 6.
Why are you doing this now?
I don't know.
All right. So, in an effort to get away from this thing, you try to run full tilt over the skeletons. Now the water's been now the water is frozen and they're exposed, and you try to loop your way around the basilisk real quick while it's being blasted closer to this siphon by Callum. The thing about a giant pit of skeletons is that there's often gaps.
Oh no.
And Samantha, you're like, guys, look, I made a door. It took you 2 seconds, and you turn around, and you see Callum blasting fire at the Drake, and you see Christopher running towards you, and then he just dips out of sight.
She literally rubs her eyes like, wait, what?
Yeah. Christopher, you kind of find a sinkhole of skeletons and bone that you just kind of slide and slip your way into, and you quickly find yourself up to about just below your torso, just where your arms are kind of sticking out, and you are slowly being dragged into a gaping hole of bone.
I imagine as well, it's just one skull just appears in front of my face, well, this is the first time this happened, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm asking the wrong person here. I'm trying to just scramble out.
As soon as I see him go down, can I try and rush to go help him?
Yes, it would take you the exact same amount of time it took you to get over here, so it'd be coming back around to you, and then you get over here.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, the Drake gets to do something. Because in all of this mess and all of these happenings, there have been things that have left about or forgotten. And you see it kind of wrap its tail around its side, trying to block the flames away that Callum's trying to send at it. As the two of you, at least, see it turn its head towards Dante and Eleonora.
Oh.
And you see it snap its head forward, grab Dante by the leg, and just see a long spiraling tongue kind of loop out of its mouth and loop around him and pull him inside. And it begins to swallow him. Samantha.
Hi.
After witnessing this Drake swallow someone whole, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna go help Christopher. Skitter, 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 skitter.
Roll the act under pressure, please.
Oh, and my last magic roll, I realized it would be a 10 because I forgot to add the +1 forward that Callum gave me.
No, I took into account.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Otherwise, I would have said glitchy.
Oh my god.
No, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Chat, I need you to understand. That's a 2.
Real bad.
We're raking in the experience today. I might be able to have another improvement by the end of tonight.
The thing that kind of fuels your being for the most part, Samantha, is magic. It's kind of what's keeping you together in a lot of ways. And in casting that spell to kind of keep all those skeletons up there, as you're running away from it, you realize kind of all the gas you had in the tank. You're hurting. And you kind of like you're going and you're running. You start slowing down a bit and you're like, whoa. And you kind of look down and you see the green kind of spiraling through you still as if the siphon never left you. And you kind of feel just kind of frozen in place for a moment as you still feel its effects.
Entirely fair.
Callum.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy. How you doing?
okay.
I think you would see Christopher to step out of sight. And you do see Samantha kind of turning a dark green and walking real slow.
He is gonna trust that the both of them can handle themselves for the moment, as he is going to bolt for the librarian and try to essentially fireman haul her up. And he's gonna try and fucking play some keep away with the Drake.
Yeah, roll to protect someone.
Can do.
How many luck points do you have? If you'd like to use one, do you? Do you have any luck?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Oh no! I just suggested if you're down. Man, this is the part that I don't like about Powered by the Apocalypse. I'm over here like there is nothing I can do to help. That was good. Okay. You got 8, turning that into a 12. Dope. All right. Which one of these are you choosing? Because you can choose an extra here.
I will say I'm gonna hold the enemy back. Is that just like the one extra that I can choose in this case?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And that is what I'm going to do, because I want to make some distance between the Drake and its apparent snack.
Yeah, you see it as the flames die down. It kind of like lowers its tail. It is looking pretty fucking singed. It did not appreciate anything that just happened to it. But you do see it has a mission as its red eyes squint at you as you're running away from it. And it like hisses, but like you see one of its right side limbs is kind of like burnt to a crisp at this point. You kind of see it like slough off the side and fall to the ground. It kind of hisses in pain. Takes a look around. Sees a Christopher.
Oh no.
And starts making its way towards him. All right. Samantha.
Hi.
You are a spoop.
I'm very scary.
And this thing is going after someone who's important to you.
Yes, indeed.
If you would like to tap into one of the darker things that you do to push yourself here, you may do something at the next thing you do. I'll give you a +1.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I'll
I
go
will
for that.
say, if you do tap into your dark side to do this, I would ask you to pick another dark side thing as you dig deeper into it.
Yeah.
That seem fair? Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. So as you see it start moving its way, like slither crawling its way over to Christopher, what would you like to do as you dig deep into the spoop inside you?
I would like to utilize the big whammy.
Mm-hmm.
I can use my powers to kick some ass.
Do it up.
That is an 11.
Most excellent. You pick your options, please.
I don't know how to do this very well. I added the 1 this time. Where's the list again? Sorry, I'm looking in my book.
It's under kick some ass. You can gain advantage, take a +1 forward, or give +4 to another hunter. You can inflict terrible harm. You can suffer less harm, or force them where you want them.
Okay, so according to the big whammy, the attack has 2 harm.
and it's close, but you're pushing yourself and taking another dark side thing. So.
Okay, that's fair. That's entirely fair.
So I'm letting you do this at a distance.
Thank you. So my one extra effect will be I'm gonna inflict. No, I'll do the 2 harm, and you force them where you want them. I want to push the Drake closer to the circle and away from Christopher. Into the circle if possible, but I don't think I hit that hard. I'm just a little guy.
Okay. What does the big whammy look like?
So, you guys have never seen Samantha use this before because she hasn't used this before. This is defensive magic that she learned just in case, but by and large has been able to get by on investigation and like subterfuge by buffing and debuffing, so on and so forth. And so it is almost as though her own shadow detaches from her form and seems to grow and elongate and develop these horrific, sharp, curved claws. And they rip into this Drake with a viciousness that right now is mirrored on Samantha's face as she has taken an additional dark urge.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, blood, hail, and a screech that sounds like thunder echoes across this cavern as it backs away from whatever the fuck just went after it and kind of lolls back and kind of falls on its back, and you see it trying to scramble to get back up. It is looking real bad. Not doing well right now. Christopher.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Not that great.
Yeah. And while you were down there, and you're still down there, it's fucking rank, it smells bad, kind of feel yourself slipping in deeper as you're trying to clamber out. I have done everything I can, young man, to make sure that you stay alive, and still you fuck it up. What is wrong with you? And you look up and in a lederhosen for some reason, with 2 pigtails coming down, you see the glowing yellow eyes of Magma, looking pissed.
Hi, Magma.
What the fuck are you doing?
Dealing with the Drake that's coming after us.
I don't give a fuck about the Drake. We made a deal, Christopher.
Yes, I understand that, and
you know what happens. Do you know what happens if you die?
No. Well, actually,
leans down real low. Say it.
There's nothing, and you don't get your deal.
No, I get something.
You get
he
me.
jabs a finger into your chest. Damn right I do. Smarter decisions, Mr. Watson. And you feel yourself just yanked bodily and thrown on your back onto the pile of skeletons behind you. And you, as you kind of glance up, kind of dizzy because of the way he threw you, you see him eating a schnitzel. You'll make me come back on vacation again. I get irritated.
Sorry.
I see him. He vanishes in a puff of smoke. Anyway, you're out of the hole.
Yeah. I'm just going to try to go to Miss Whitaker. Miss Whitaker is still laying there, right?
No, Callum has her.
Oh, Callum has her. Okay. Missed that part. I'm just going to try to get out of the room again because I don't want even worse things to happen.
All right. Roll to act under pressure.
All right, here we go. 9. Mixed success this time.
So, Samantha.
Yes.
In order to save your friend, you dug deep into a dark part of yourself that you haven't touched in a while. And you see the Drake reeling and like crashing in pain. And as you look over to where you thought the torso of Christopher, he was flat on his back and like gets up, covered in something that you don't want to know that is now running towards you. It seems that it worked. You did it.
Sure as hell did. And I intend to finish it.
Callum.
All right. This thing is still on its back, right?
Yep, and you have Miss Whitaker safely over your shoulder as you're well enough away from it at this point.
All right. He will go ahead and set her off to the side. Trying to think. How long is it going to take for him to get close enough to this thing to get within blasting range?
If you're trying to get up close and personal, maybe a bit. If you have something at a distance, it looks real bad if you just have something that you can throw at it from a distance.
Fortunately, both of my bases are close effects. I tell you what I could try and do. Could try the old.
I think we're missing it. You do have a magic staff, right?
Yeah.
You could just blast some magic with kick ass. I'm not. Yeah. If you're not trying to do a specific effect, like blast or something like that, or make a giant wall, if you want to just use your magic staff to throw some magic at something, then by all means.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
Can do.
You made that a magic weapon, piece of weaponry, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You enchanted that, right? You enchanted your staff, yeah?
It's not specifically enchanted. It's not one of the backup weapons, I should specify.
Oh,
but it is a foci.
Oh, okay. Well, it is up to you, but yeah, we'll probably talk about that later, because I thought you had enchanted the staff, and that's why it was lighting up. Otherwise, you'd use magic to make that do happen. But yeah, for this instance, just light it up.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, make success, and I'm just gonna inflict terrible harm on this thing as I sling some pure magic.
Yeah, describe how you kill this thing.
He's just gonna gather his remaining reserves of magic within him, as it separates out from his staff in these crystallizing bolts, he is going to send them lancing through this thing's body longwise and just run it through repeatedly with each bolt, goring out its vitals.
And with another thunderous screech, it collapses to the ground dead. You see its limbs kind of fall to either side, the tail finally go limp, and its massive head just like lap the side of the outcropping and then just slide down into the water. It's dead.
Man, usually things tend to die a little bit quicker on the business end of my magic, but I ain't gonna complain.
Samantha is kind of like weaving on her feet as that rush of darkness kind of leaves her without a leg to stand on, really, and just is it over?
I go over to Samantha and catch her before she fully falls, and I believe it might be over.
Not quite yet. Still one bit of bloody business left over. As he gets closer to the now dead Drake, he's going to draw his heirloom sword. He's gonna wince as he tries to carve it open and see if he can safely extract Dante.
As you do so, you start to realize that all of the wounds it took from both of your attacks also may have gone internally as well. And in its death throes, it probably killed him. As you're like digging deeper and deeper into this Drake, he went straight inside of its belly where he probably perished.
Oh, hell. So can't save them all.
I mean, there is one that you kind of left in about 2 feet of water, so you might want to...
He's switching gears right now. He's going to go use magic to try and heal her.
All right, make the roll. You're getting better at it, so I'll give you a +1.
He's starting to believe.
Excellent. As you use the magic over her, you see her skin start to gain some color. And the green spideriness in her veins starts to dissipate. As you kind of see her jolt awake and both of her eyes open, and you see like deep green rings around where her irises are, and you see her just like flutter, and you see some like green sputum come out of her mouth as she starts to coughing up something.
Welcome back to the land of the living, librarian.
He dead?
Drake's dead, yeah.
No, he dead.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry.
The dragon's dead?
He's just gonna point to the creature.
Yeah, she like shakily sits up and looks over. No, that's not a dragon.
Well, hell.
And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.